valued management. Okay, EVM, earned value management. This is a tool technique to help you in terms of monitoring and controlling your budget or your costs as you go through a project. And the real benefit of EVM is the fact that it takes into consideration not only your spend, but it also takes into consideration your schedule, your time, right? When you are spending it. So if you have your project, okay, here are your dollars, here's time, okay, and you've done a great job planning everything out, and so you've got your planned spend. You know when you are going to spend your money, okay, and you've got what you think your total spend will be. This here is your budget, basically, okay? And this is what your total spend at the end of the project. This represents the end of the project. This is budget at completion, okay, or BAC. But the reality is, as you go through your project doesn't always go as planned. In fact, it rarely goes as planned. So let's pick we're 60% of the way, okay, so this represents 60%. We're 60% of the way through the project timeline, okay? And what you've spent so far kind of looks like this, okay? You're 60% the way through, okay? What you've spent here, this represents your actual costs, okay? What have you actually spent? Okay, that's what you've actually spent. But when you're talking to your team, your project team, they tell you that actually the work that they have completed is actually about 75% of the total project. So although you're 60% of the way through the project, okay, they've actually completed 75% of the work of the project, okay? Now you've got to calculate your earned value, okay? So your earned value is based on how much work of the project has been completed. To determine that is you are going to take your budget, okay, budget at completion, and you are going to, I'm going to use a different color here. Let's use this color, okay. You're going to take your budget at completion, and you're going to times that by the percentage of the work that's been completed. So in our case, our scenario, it's 75%. So if our budget was 100,000, let's say our budget was 100,000 real, then our earned value would be 75% of that. So our earned value is actually 75%, is 75,000. So up here, this is going to be 100. Okay. And here, 75. So we're 60% of the way through the project, okay? But we've actually created 75% of the value of the project. So we have our earned value here, okay, which we calculated based on knowing we've got 75% of the work done. We've got our actual costs here. Then the other thing we have is our planned value, okay? This is our planned value. This is how much we expected to have spent at this point in the project. Okay, so then we have our planned value. So if we go here, so our planned value looks like to be about 50,000, okay? And our actual costs are 60,000, okay? So it looks like we're $10,000 over budget. So if you ran a variance report just on the budget, which would be planned versus, it would be actual, okay, actual costs versus planned costs. So our actual costs are 60,000, right? And our planned costs were to be 50,000. So we're actually 10,000 in the hole. So if we just did a variance analysis just on the budget, and we didn't take into account earned value, it would look like we're 10% behind on the budget. But if we take into account how much value we've created, so we've actually done 75% of the work, then it looks like we do 75 and we've spent 60. It looks like we've actually created $15,000 worth of value. So now you're confused, right? So if we look at how much earned value we've created, it's 75,000. Our actual costs are 60. Our planned costs are 50. So are we ahead or behind? I'm confused. This is where earned value management comes in, okay? So let's just write down, you need to be able to do earned value management calculations. You need 4 numbers, right? You need your BAC, so that's 100. Okay. You need your actual costs, your AC, which is 60,000. You need your planned costs. What should you have spent at this point in time? Okay, and that's 50,000, okay? And then your earned value, okay? Your earned value is how much work has been done times your BAC. So how much work has been done, completed? 75% of the project deliverables. So it's 75% times your budget at completion. So $75,000 of earned value has been completed. Okay, so we've got this information here. Now let's do some calculations. So I'm going to clear all draw. No, I'm not. I'm going to clear some of my drawings. So let's do this. Okay, so we want to do some key calculations here. I'm going to do that in another video.